It's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Dallas Cowboys. With that, let's get on over to AT&T Stadium in Arlington for the call from Jerry World. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas in Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Now, Charles, you and I, we've done a lot of games together. Always seems like we're rehashing the same storylines. Turnovers, of course, always a big story. Quarterback play, running backs, yada, yada, yada. But getting ready for this one word kept coming to mind, and that's preparation.
Well, it's critical to be prepared. Physically, mentally. When you think about getting ready for an NFL game, you have to wonder, what will they throw at us that maybe we haven't seen before? 2-minute drill, maybe different things like that. Got to be prepared. You're exactly right.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Here we go.
So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they will be led out by their 6'3 quarterback.
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. All the defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
Set 18 Gator. I'm trying to collect. To go.
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
I'm coming.
And a give this time to the tailback. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Back to throw here. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the first down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. Well, and you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. 3rd down conversion here is big.
Here we go.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Hey, come on now.
Now a handoff here to his running back. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And that's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
And, Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And to give this time to the tailback. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 38-yard line. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did. Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count. Now a handoff here to his running back. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll try and run with their fullback. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done. Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. It's been a pretty long opening drive. This will be play number 11 coming up on third down. He'll look to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. So they decline it as that will bring up fourth. And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it fourth down. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there. Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty. And send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So here are the Cowboys under head coach Jason Garrett as they get set for their first opportunity. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What did the columnists write? Possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. Now this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I liked his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Here we go, D. It's just mine.
Here to his running back. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Someone's looking fresh, and his O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain, too.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
You can't block me.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Going to give this time to the tailback. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4.
Nice 57's right. Yeah, that's what I do. Get it.
Back to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 30.
For many people, that's not your standard play call in that third down situation. But for so many offenses, they just want the ball in the hands of their playmakers in open space. And after he caught it, he did a nice job picking up the first down.
Here we go.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these ready.
They're going to look to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll make it a 2nd down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. They'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
So on 4th down, Jason Garrett sends in his field goal unit. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And the gamble fails. It's incomplete. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. And now out comes Minnesota. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. 2nd and 1. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending the guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking 1st down. His first carry of their 2nd drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their 1st drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
Ready, break. Mike, 54 is Mike. Check, watch 54, watch 54. Right here. 5.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
The loss of 3 on that first down pass play, now 2nd and 13. On play action, they'll throw. Going up top. And that is caught. One-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. That one good for 37 yards.
I don't think we'll ever get enough of watching one-handed catches, and when they pay off, they are spectacular. But how about the times they don't pay off and coaches go, 2 hands. 2 hands still works.
I know, but they go for them so often now that I'm almost starting to take them for granted.
Yeah, that's unbelievable, isn't it? Because these are sensational type plays.
Especially that one with a defender right there. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando, and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do. Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. 2nd and 2. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation.
And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And here's 2nd and goal. 2nd and 11. That is caught at the 7-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. This is 3rd and goal now. 80,000 on their feet here in Arlington. They'll set up to throw. He's got it. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And his kick is good. And they're able to double their lead just before half. It's 6-0. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field.
And you have to figure they won't just sit on the football here in the final minute. The way things have gone, they need to try to make something happen offensively.
But maybe they should. Maybe they should sit on it here because of what you just said. They haven't made anything happen offensively. Getting ready to go into the half, give them a chance to take a deep breath, exhale a little bit, and start over. I don't know if this is the time to push it myself.
Yeah, right now under 100 yards of total offense.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll drop the throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
Ready.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Ready. Mark 57. And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. And a defensive-minded coach loves to turn up the heat, turns it up there, it pays off.
And back in the good old days, those defensive-minded coaches just talked about intimidating teams, using force, right, beating them to the punch. In this case, they're talking about creating turnovers. That's all they preach, all game long, all practice long, every meeting. Get the football. That's what they want.
Come on, set. 90 Wolves. 56. Let's go.
He'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half.
Set. 60 or. Ready. 5.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Nifty running there, but it'll come on what should be the final play of half number 1. So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal.
Ready. 55, Mike 55. I'm here all day. Sit up.
They go play action here on first down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Cowboy first down. Those are the type of runs that we did not see from him in the first half, but a good start to the third quarter.
And I know what everyone's thinking that's watching this. They did a great job adjusting at the half. Oftentimes you don't make adjustments. You just dial into your game plan a little bit better, and maybe they're starting to make some headway.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 8. Over the middle, it's complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 44-yard line.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now back to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. He'll drop to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And he is all the way up past the 25. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him. And what I mean by that is what you said. 3rd and long. Got to push it downfield to try and pick up the first down. Defensive backs live for this situation. And they took advantage of the young man right there.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a 2-score game as they've got it 1st and 10.
You ready? Mike, 56, right there, 56. It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
There the Cowboys here on 3rd down, bringing in an extra defensive back.
I'm coming after you.
Looking to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes is quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
The Vikings send out their punter. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now an inside draw. This is their fullback. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Probably a bit of a surprise call there on first down, but how about a tone setter for the drive? Picking up nice yardage with the big man setting the tone physically.
50, plant.
They'll look to throw here. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Vikings pick up the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I know it's a phrase that sounds really cool, strip sack, but all we're talking about is getting to the guy, getting to the passer, making the tackle, making the play, but do a little bit extra, right? Stripping the ball out, working the arm free. That's become a big emphasis for all defenders.
Yeah, and as a defender with the emphasis, this is something that's practiced.
Practiced all the time. Taking the ball away, creating turnovers, that's really job one for any defense because that's how you win in today's NFL.
The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? First and goal.
Come. Ready?
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on first and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
It's second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. This will be caught at about the 5. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a third and goal. So they still get the completion even though the blitz was on. But the blitz got there. Does that stay in the mind of the quarterback the next couple plays?
That's what you're hoping for. That's what you're planning for. It's a little risk-reward, right? You're leaving your guys on an island back there in man coverage. But you take the chance that you get to the quarterback, and so he gets completion here. Congratulations. Keep coming at him, and hopefully it pays off by the end of the game that you're starting to get to him while still able to cover on the back end.
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. It's the fullback there to make the grab. And the Vikings capitalize on this short field as they take it in for 6. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Nothing fancy there on that 2-point try. Give it to the big boy, let him go to work.
That almost felt like sandlot football that we used to play, didn't it? Biggest guy on your team who can carry the ball, hand it to him and let him rumble.
Nobody picked me on the Sandlot football team.
You were quarterback, and I know better.
I was the water boy. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Our eyes shift now to the Vikings defense. They recovered the fumble last time. 3 turnovers for them in this game. They've been, that word opportunistic comes to mind, right?
Exactly right. And you know guys on defense, they say the turnovers, the offensive guys call them turnovers. We call them takeaways. We go get them. And that's exactly what they've done in this game.
The former DB making sure you know their takeaways on the defensive
takeaways,
side.
Man.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
We want it. Come in my world.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. call it a pickup of 7, and it'll be a second down.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 38-yard line.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Set. 18 Gator. Tackle.
2nd and 3. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Back to throw here. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together?
Down. 70. Indy.
Hey, defense, let's go.
They'll set up a throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. He'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
The penalty moves them into the red zone here on 1st and 10.
Hey, check 24. Check 24.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. He really hasn't been able to get on track running the football, averaging less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think that they're going to enjoy the film session because all the defenders are filling their proper gaps on just about every play. And you know what they always say for a defensive coach? When I click off this film, I better see 11 jerseys in the picture going after the ball carrier.
And he'll take this one down near the 15. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now a handoff here to his running back. Well, they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
Well, he tried to bounce it outside, but that's obviously not his game. He's too much of a straight-line runner.
Yeah, him in the outer third of the field, not a recipe for success. That time a loss. Second and goal from the 6 this time.
55. Watch the run, watch the run.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line. What a game this defense continues to play, huh?
Yeah, they've been aggressive from the first snap, and they've controlled this ball game. But right now, if you're on the other side of the ball, you've got to match that aggressiveness. No points so far in this game. Moving the football, got to be that way to go against them and try and get some points on the board.
And I'm curious on the defensive side if they stay aggressive, because you know they want to pitch this shutout.
Yeah, they have to be aggressive, but they also have to be smart about it as well, because one mistake can turn into 6 points.
Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
The field goal doesn't help here on 4th and goal.
Mike, 55. Check.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown as his guys are back within a single score. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Extra point right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You've got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, I mean, by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Break. 50 seconds to Mike. I got you. I got you. Alert flag.
Five.
Right back to him on first down. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
I have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is going to have the 1st down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Check.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Let's go. 18 Gator. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball. Quick dad. Get it. Clear.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Second and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. Now a handoff here to his running back. Give him 4 on the carry there, but that only takes them back to where they started. 3rd and 10.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Oh, no, he lost the football. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the 1st down.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So we've got a challenge. Our referee's going to take another look on the tablet. He's going to be watching to see if the knee was down prior to the ball coming out.
Oh, I love what you just said there. You nailed it, because if the ball's shifting or moving before the knee or any other part of the body hits the ground, then that'll be considered a fumble.
After review of the play.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen, because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
All right, so then instead of a two-score lead in the waning moments, that miss means they're going to need to sweat this one out after all, partner.
Nothing comes easy in this league. That could turn out to be a miss of disastrous proportions. So now they need to call on their defense one last time to bail them out.
Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. Now deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
Brings up a 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say good night from AT&T Stadium.